Good evening. If we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. His Majesty the King visited His Highness Pope Francis and reviewed strong relations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Vatican. Bahrain Conference on Oncology and Palliative Care started. UAE introduced new visa overstay fines. Tests required for new expatriates in Kuwait, 20 professions targeted. UK Prime Minister Sunak to pledge accelerated renewables plan at COP27. News in detail. His Majesty the King visited His Highness Pope Francis and reviewed strong relations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Vatican. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa paid a visit today to His Holiness Pope Francis at his residence in the presence of His Majesty's personal representative, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and personal representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Works and Youth Affairs, National Security Advisor, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa. His Majesty the King and His Highness the Pope reviewed strong relations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Vatican and their steady growth at all levels. His Majesty the King commended the positive outcomes of His Highness the Pope's historic visit to the Kingdom of Bahrain, noting the lofty humanitarian contents contained in the speeches delivered by His Holiness during the visit, which emphasized the principles of peace, religious freedom, and rapprochement between people. He also praised the great success of the Mass, which was held and attended by tens of thousands from Bahrain and the Arabian Gulf countries. His Majesty the King affirmed that common denominators based on the noble humanitarian principles and values have turned relations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Vatican into a distinguished model of cooperation to serve humanity by promoting peaceful coexistence between religions and cultures, shunning extremism and fostering dialogue as the only means to achieve people's aspirations for peace, prosperity, and sustainable development. His Highness Pope Francis expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King for the gracious welcome and hospitality and for his invitation to visit the Kingdom of Bahrain. He also expressed appreciation to the royal family, commending coexistence and tolerance characterizing the Bahraini society. His Highness the Pope lauded the vital role of the Kingdom of Bahrain in consolidating the culture of dialogue, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence, wishing Bahrain further growth and prosperity. Bahrain Conference on Oncology and Palliative Care started. The first edition of the Bahrain Conference on Oncology and Palliative Care has today started under the patronage of President of the Supreme Council for Health, Lieutenant General Dr. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa. The two-day event, which is co-organized by the Government Hospitals and Education Plus, is being held at the Gulf Hotel, Gulf Convention Center, with large participation from Bahrain and beyond. The lectures given during the first day of the conference have achieved many desired goals, said Dr. Jamila Muhammad Al Salman, General President of Medical Services in Government Hospitals. She noted that the second day will be an extension of the vision set by the organizing committee, which also continue the development and progress of the medical sector in Bahrain and all participating countries, especially in the field of oncology and palliative care. On the first day of the conference, experts, lecturers, and consultants presented a series of valuable lectures dealing with oncology and palliative care. Bahrain tourism to be promoted at London's World Travel Market. The Ministry of Tourism will participate in the World Travel Market in London, scheduled to be held November 7th to 9th. The market is the largest international tourism and travel events of its kind in the world and one of the best attended international forums focused on the global tourism industry. The Bahraini Pavilion is one of the forums extends over an area of 266 square meters and in collaboration with the Tourism Ministry, Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority and the national carrier Gulf Air. The pavilion will present latest offers in tourism, travel and air transport packages, in addition to a presentation of possible investment opportunities in various sectors in around the kingdom by the Economic Development Board. The pavilion will include the participation of the allied private tourism sector. Health Minister inaugurated Mental Health Exhibition. Health Minister Dr. Jalila bint Al-Sayed Jawad Hassan has stressed the importance of mental health and the need to spread awareness about its aspects by carrying on concerted social efforts to raise the level of mental health services as an essential pillar of achieving the concept of comprehensive health. The Minister was speaking while inaugurating Be Assured exhibition organized by the Psychiatry Hospital under the slogan Mental Health and Well-Being are a Global Priority for All at the Avenues, Bahrain on November 3rd to 4th in the presence of a number of officials. The exhibition featured awareness-raising activities and a video presentation highlighting the most important achievements of the Psychiatry Hospital. The Ministry of Health also launched initiatives to develop research in which a number of national competencies participated both internally and externally. Emirates to showcase its latest Ford-class A380 at the Bahrain International Air Show. Emirates will be displaying its Ford-class Airbus A380 aircraft at the 6th edition of the Bahrain International Air Show 2022, taking place 9th to 11th November 2022. While the A380 will definitely make a huge splash, the much smaller Emirates Flight Training Academy's Embraer Phenom 100 EV jet will also at the show, and instructors will be on hand to provide tours of the training aircraft. This is the third time that Emirates is bringing the world's largest commercial aircraft to the Bahrain Air Show. At the last edition, the aircraft attracted 11,000 visitors who experienced its latest interior cabins and innovations. This year, visitors will be able to check out the A380's latest products, including refreshed cabins, its popular newest generation onboard lounge and shower spa, as well as the airline's much talked about premium economy class cabin. Emirates will also be displaying its Embraer Phenom 100 training aircraft, utilized by the Emirates Flight Training Academy. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com.
Welcome back. UAE introduced new visa overstay fines. The Federal Authority for Identity, Citizenship, Customs and Port Security has standardized the fine on overstaying your visa in the country. Tourist and visit visa holders who overstay will pay dirham 50 a day instead of dirham 100. Also, those overstaying on a residency visa will have to pay double, that is dirham 50 a day instead of dirham 25. Typing center agents across the country confirmed the change in fees. The fine on a visit visa has been reduced to dirham 50 from dirham 100. Fine on the residency visa has been doubled. These changes have been introduced as part of the sweeping visa reforms announced last month. UAE to witness Black Moon lunar eclipse this week. Days after a partial solar eclipse in the UAE, stargazers can witness a total lunar eclipse on Tuesday, November 8th. In a total lunar eclipse, the entire moon falls within the darkest part of the Earth's shadow, called the umbra. When the moon is within the umbra, it will turn a reddish hue. Lunar eclipses are sometimes called black moons because of this phenomenon. National Aeronautics and Space Administration said about the celestial event, "This will be the last total lunar eclipse for the next 3 years. The next occurrence will be on March 14th, 2025. The complete stage of the eclipse, where the moon is entirely in Earth's shadow, will be visible in Asia, Australia and New Zealand, across North and Central America, Ecuador, Colombia and western portions of Venezuela and Peru. In Puerto Rico, the moon sets just after totality begins. In Alaska and Hawaii, viewers will have the opportunity to see every stage of the eclipse. According to the US Space Agency, people don't need any special equipment to observe a lunar eclipse, although binoculars or a telescope will enhance the view and the red color. A dark environment away from the bright lights makes for the best viewing conditions. Tests required for new expatriates in Kuwait, 20 professions targeted. The Public Authority for Manpower has started working on listing the top professions in which expatriate workers are recruited with the aim of determining a smart mechanism to test them in their countries in partnership with the Kuwaiti embassies abroad. The tests will be conducted in the countries that sent their workers. The tests will be for the targeted professions and will be held in 2 parts, practical and theoretical. The practical section will be conducted in Kuwait and the theoretical in the countries of recruitment. The source revealed that the first phase will target about 20 professions. In addition, the Kuwait Society of Engineers has prepared a Center for Professional Tests to be conducted on 71 different professions in support of workers in the engineering sector. The first phase will target a new work permits, and then the experience will be generalized to those wishing to renew permits in the professions that will be counted. In addition, statistics issued by the Public Authority for Civil Information revealed that the number of technicians and assistant specialists in natural sciences and engineering reached 21,387. These jobs are among the targeted groups in the upcoming theoretical and practical tests. Yara Al-Hakbani won the tennis gold medal in Saudi Games. Yara Al-Hakbani, the Saudi female tennis star, has won the gold medal in the women's tennis competitions, which were held on Thursday in Riyadh as part of the Saudi Games 2022. Al-Hakbani, who plays for Al-Ittihad club, beat Lara Bukhari in the final 2-0. Al-Hakbani didn't lose any round during her participation at the Saudi Games 2022. Al-Hakbani won first place and a prize for 1 million riyals, while Laura, who came in second, won the silver medal and a prize of Saudi riyal 400,000, while Sarah Al Obeidan won the bronze medal and Saudi riyal 100,000 after ranking third. Al Hakbani, aged 18, is the first Saudi female tennis player to represent Saudi Arabia at the professional level. She has been registered at Al Ittihad Club since 2018. UK Prime Minister Sunak to pledge accelerated renewables plan at COP27. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will promise to speed up the UK's transition to renewable energy when he addresses the UN COP27 summit on climate change on Monday. Sunak made a last-minute decision on November 2nd to participate in the climate talks, reversing a plan much criticized by environmental activists and political opponents to skip the annual gathering, according to Reuters. He will tell politicians and business leaders at the event that Britain will work with international allies to speed up its move to cleaner sources of energy, after Russia's invasion of Ukraine made the need to do so even more pressing. Britain hosted last year's COP26 summit in Glasgow, and Sunak will urge leaders to stick to promises they made then. He will hold meetings on energy security, green technology, and environmental protection, as well as chairing a discussion on forests and nature. Sunak on Friday praised King Charles for his far-sighted leadership on tackling climate change, as the monarch hosted a reception at Buckingham Palace for international figures, including US Special Climate Envoy John Kerry. UK Prime Minister Sunak to pledge accelerated renewables plan at COP27. Kerala government may move Supreme Court against governor. The Kerala government may move the Supreme Court in its latest salvo against Governor Arif Muhammad Khan, officials familiar with the matter said, adding that consultations with the legal and constitutional experts were already underway. A state government official privy to developments and Governor Khan's intervention has affected the functioning of many universities, and his delay in signing key bills had created an administrative vacuum in the state. It was not immediately clear what issues the government would be taking up in its plea to the top court. The uneasy relations between Khan and the government spiraled downwards in August this year after the governor refused to sign 11 ordinances brought by the government. The government later called a special session of the assembly to pass them. Though Khan, after signed a majority of the bills, he withheld his consent to 2 of them, one aiming to curtail powers of the Lokayukta and another to curtail the governor's powers as the chancellor of universities. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.